The Undertaker is one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time, and for a reason for that was his length of service. His long career allowed him the opportunity to work with a plethora of wrestlers across various generations, and because he spent the majority of his career at the highest of levels, they allowed him to essentially make or break talent. If the dead man wanted to put somebody over, a competitive match, lots of selling, even a defeat would guarantee it. He was a performer who often gave a lot to his opponents when he didn't always have to, which made it even more apparent when he had no interest in doing so. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and here is our look at 5 wrestlers The Undertaker made look awesome, and 5 wrestlers he made look like a joke. Welcome to the club. In number 5 of looking awesome, we have Batista, as this rivalry became iconic. Batista is one of the best powerhouse wrestlers WWE have ever had, and is someone who doesn't get anywhere near enough credit for his match quality. This is particularly true when it comes to his matches against The Undertaker, because the two men always tore the house down. The Undertaker brought out the best of Big Dave because they were both big men who could also move around agilely. Agilely? Is that a word? We'll go with it, agilely. This meant that their matches weren't the typical big guy slugfests, and they helped to establish the animal as a legitimate guy. In number 5 of looking like a joke, we have Giant Gonzalez, as their matches were dreadful. Sometimes putting 2 huge wrestlers in the ring can create an incredible spectacle that the audiences can be excited by, like we just mentioned with Batista. But The Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez was not an example of this. The two men had some high profile matches, but they were all terrible. The Undertaker couldn't get anything out of Double G inside the ring, with their matches at WrestleMania 9 and SummerSlam 1993 being extremely dull. There was a lack of excitement when they shared the ring, and audiences could not wait for the storyline to be over. In number 4 of looking good, we have Ric Flair, as he helped the Nature Boy during a tough time. The idea that The Undertaker helped to make Ric Flair look good might seem quite absurd given the talent of the Nature Boy, but he certainly made an impact on his WWE career. When the two men began their feud in the build-up to WrestleMania 18, people were starting to doubt Flair's ability at that level. The Undertaker went out of his way to make Flair look fantastic during the entire storyline, which instantly reminded fans of what the Nature Boy was capable of. From that point on, Flair had his confidence back, and returned to doing some of his best work ever. In number 3 of looking like a joke, we have Roman Reigns, as their big moment fell flat. Most people would look at the rivalry between The Undertaker and Roman Reigns as they helped the Tribal Chief as he defeated the Dead Man at WrestleMania 33 in the main event. The next night he then dropped one of the greatest promos of his career, and it really helped push him as a single star. However, the match was so disastrously bad that it made Reigns look like a joke. Undertaker was nowhere near healthy enough to be able to compete properly in this spot, and it really showed as he struggled around the ring in a performance that hurt Reigns just as much. In number 3 of looking good, we have The Big Show, as The Undertaker helped to establish another giant. There are a few wrestlers who understand what it's like being a big guy in the industry, but The Undertaker is one of those. That's why he spent a lot of time working against The Big Show over the years, and why he invested interest and time into helping the world's largest athlete. Undertaker put a lot of effort in with Big Show both on and off the screen. He would constantly give Big Show advice on what to do and what not to do as a wrestler of his size, and that is something that certainly paid off. In number 3 of looking like a joke, we have Vladimir Kozlov, and these matches were also incredibly dull. The Undertaker might have been a legendary performer, but Vince McMahon often gave him opponents who were nowhere near his level, and The Undertaker was told to just try and make it work. He often had to face different monster heels who McMahon thought could have turned into a star, with Vladimir Kozlov falling into that category. Undertaker was unable to get anything out of Kozlov when it came to their matches, and it was clear that they didn't have great chemistry inside of the ring. In number 2 of looking good, we have Maven, as The Undertaker surprised a lot of people during this storyline. The Undertaker typically worked with established stars who were at the highest of levels and had earned their place at the top of the card. That's why people were stunned when he started a rivalry against the tough enough star Maven, who was very inexperienced at that level. It's a rivalry that most people didn't even contemplate, but once it happened, both guys worked hard to try and make it entertaining. Maven was given a huge break, and still to this day people remember the feud, proving that The Undertaker helped establish him. In number 2, we have looking like a joke of Luther Reigns, as he was never taken seriously. The Undertaker often gave his opponents a lot inside the ring to try and establish them as a threat, but that was not the case with Luther Reigns. These two men had a brief and very forgettable storyline against one another in the Big Dub. It was hard for WWE to build much excitement within this storyline because The Undertaker gave Reigns nothing and made him look pathetic inside the ring. And number 1 of looking good, we have Brock Lesnar, as he's one of Taker's greatest ever rivals. When fans reflect on The Undertaker's career, there are a few wrestlers he gave more to consistently than Brock Lesnar. The two men had an amazing rivalry during both of Lesnar's runs with WWE, from being an upcoming star that The Undertaker put on the map to an established performer who ended the Deadman's WrestleMania streak. The Deadman constantly went above and beyond to give Lesnar his big moments, and that created an epic storyline as he's one of the only people who could push Lesnar physically. While Lesnar was always going to thrive, without The Undertaker, his career would not have been the same. And number 1 of looking like a joke, you probably expected it to be him, and that's DDP, as this storyline killed DDP's entire career. DDP joining WWE should have been a really exciting situation considering how talented the man was. He proved himself in WCW as one of their biggest stars, and fans presumed that would be the case in the big dub, but his storyline against The Undertaker stopped that in its tracks. DDP debuted with a stalker gimmick where he would act creepy towards The Undertaker's then wife at the time. However, Undertaker didn't give much in this feud and it stopped DDP from developing. Sadly, this was a constant thing in the early years of the American Badass Undertaker, so it happened to a bunch of guys, so it's not just DDP, but DDP definitely suffered the most. And there you have it, there is our list. What do you think? Which wrestler did Undertaker make look the best, and who looked the worst? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you are new around here. That's all for now, so I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Welcome to the club.